So I'm pretty sure that there's at least one of you out there that need to hear this right now, and it's that nobody knows what they're doing, especially when you're first getting started. If you're looking to start your own candle business or small business of any kind, I promise you that 99% of people that start their businesses have the same insecurities, unknowns, questions, and reservations that you have about starting. And we've all been there. We've all done the same thing. We've all gone through the same obstacles. So just know that you're not alone in any of this. If you're finding my channel for the first time, hello, my name is Erica, and I have a small candle business called Memory Box Candle Co. that I've been running for almost 5 years now. I run it now with my husband, Chris, and he is amazing and does all of the production while I am basically a full-time stay-at-home mom to my 17-month-old and do a lot of back-end work on the side. I make YouTube videos. I have digital products for candle business owners, as well as we do a lot of wholesale for our candle business. We also have a retail website as well. I do a lot of different things, but on this channel, I like to talk a lot about my candle business journey. And with that comes a lot of, I think, a lot of times when we are going through something that is new to us, we've never done it before. All of the feelings, all of the emotions, and all of the questions that we have can feel like we are the only ones that have ever gone through that. You know, if you're looking on social media and you are maybe idolizing certain business owners that they have beautiful products and they have so many followers and they seem like they're getting so many sales, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. You know, I don't know. They know what they're doing. They're obviously meant to be a business owner. They know all of the ins and outs. They maybe know something that I don't, and, you know, they have it all put together. And let me tell you that you may be surprised that if you really asked those business owners how they felt, if they felt like they were proficient in running a business, or that they knew everything, or that they never had any, questions or insecurities or anything like that, you would probably be surprised that most people would tell you, I'm just taking it day by day. Like, I'm winging it. I'm just doing the best I can with the information that I have. You know, with the year that we are living in 2025, we are very, very, very lucky with the immense amount of knowledge that we have for free at our fingertips, but it can get very overwhelming. And sometimes it can be even harder with that much information to even know where to start with everything. So I'm just wanting to make this video just to give you some motivation and to let you know that whatever you're feeling right now, you're absolutely not alone. You are not the only person who has been confused on, well, do I need to get a seller's permit? Do I need to get a wholesale license? How do I even go about creating a website? And what are the payment methods? And how do I accept those payment methods? And then what is sales tax? There's so many things that come into play when it comes to running a business that's even beyond just the actual starting the business part of it. Or, obviously when you get past the testing, if you were wanting to start a candle business, for instance, there's so much more that goes into it, finding your target market. What does that exactly mean? Setting up, your shop, connecting your shop from Shopify onto Instagram, and where do you market and how do you market? And all of these things, down to the littlest detail, are things that we all have experienced. I found myself in the very beginning feeling like every moment was just this huge obstacle that I was trying to overcome. And then once I overcame it, it was this big sigh of relief. And then I felt really good and confident. And you will find that along the way. You'll learn along the way that the more you experiment, the more you overcome those obstacles, and the more that you keep persevering, you will build your confidence more and more. And that confidence, I feel like, is something that is not talked a lot about when it comes to being an entrepreneur. I think that hard work, yes. Skill, yes, definitely in some way, but you can learn a lot of skills. Honestly, I've learned a lot of skills along the way. Self-motivation, absolutely have to be self-motivated. But building your confidence is something that will keep you going, because if you're not confident in what you're doing, if you're not confident in yourself that you will be able to turn this into even a remotely successful business, whatever that means to you, then it's going to be really hard to keep moving forward. Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, then how will you have that motivation to keep going? Because if you're thinking like, well, I'm not going to be able to do it, like I'm not going to be able to make any sales if I start this, then that is going to really hinder you. That is going to have that mental block in your head and is going to make it very difficult for you to be able to succeed if you don't have that confidence. So all of these little, you can think about it as a test. It's very hard. I get it. There are things that I spent so much time on, and I was thinking to myself, how am I going to get past this? How am I going to get over this? I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. And what if I'm doing something wrong? And what if I miss something? And then the IRS is after me, or I do something legally wrong. Like, I jumped to all of these conclusions that it was always the worst of the worst. Well, what if I forget this and then I'm going to have a big fine, or I'm going to get sued by like a million people? I just had all of these thoughts in my head, and it was always negative, and it was always feeling like, well, what if I don't know every single possible tiny thing that I need to be doing and something goes wrong, or I get in trouble? I've always been somebody that doesn't want to get in trouble. I'm a very big rule follower. So that's always been something that has been something that I personally have struggled with, because I want to make sure that I am doing everything the best that I can. And that did definitely motivate me in the beginning to make sure that I was doing everything right to the best that I could in terms of legally wise and tax stuff, and getting, my business. I was a DBA in the beginning, which is a doing business as. So I started off as a sole proprietor, which is probably what you're going to be starting off as, which just means that you will be doing business under your social security number. So you don't have to register your business. You don't have to tell anybody that you're starting a business. You just are one underneath your social. So it's not separated. So you're not separated from your business. The only thing that you do need to make sure that you do get is what's called a DBA, or a fictitious business name. And this is just if you're wanting to do business under something other than your legal name. So for me, I'm Erica Morris, but I have my business Memory Box Candle Co. So if I was still a sole proprietor, which I'm not anymore, I do have an S corporation. But if I was still a sole proprietor, I would get a DBA. So it'd be Erica Morris DBA Memory Box Candle Co. But on all of my products and website and all that, it could just be Memory Box Candle Co. You don't have to include your name and DBA on all of your products. But that's just kind of some knowledge for you moving forward. So if you're worried about that and you're like, I don't know where to register, who do I tell? And this is just from my personal experience. Of course, I'm not a legal or tax or any person. This is just from my experience that when you are first getting started, you are automatically a sole proprietor when you start selling your products. The only thing that I would recommend is that you get your seller's permit, which is through your state, and then business insurance. You always want to make sure you have business insurance. I do have a video that I can actually link if you're wanting kind of more of that side of things, if that's something that is kind of holding you back or creating that anxiety when you are wanting to start a business. And obviously I know that there's so much that goes into it. And again, that's just kind of my point of this video, is that you're not alone. We've all been there. We all know exactly those feelings and those, reservations that you're having on certain situations. And there were situations where I'm like, I don't know if I am cut out for this. Like, how am I cut out for this? How is this something that who am I to be doing this? I don't know anything about, business insurance or seller's permits or remitting sales tax or creating a website or any of that, the product, the marketing, the Instagram, everything that goes into that in like a little package of your business is something that I really had to figure out, getting a business license and figuring out who do I contact and how do I fill this out. And you'll be filling out certain forms sometimes, and there'll be a section that you're like, I don't know what this means. What does this mean? I don't know what this means. Never underestimate, or I don't even know if that's the correct term, never feel bad or silly or anything like that to call for help. So many people are there to help you. If you need to call the IRS and ask them a question, call them and ask them a question. If you need to call, I don't know, Secretary of State or whoever it is, your city, whoever it is, figure out who the contact information is, give them a call or send them an email and just double check. There's no shame in doing that. Trust me, it is so much better to ask and know than to try to guess or to research your brain off on Google trying to figure it out because this person said you do need a license, this person said you don't need a license. Just ask. I would definitely just ask and figure it out for yourself. Let them know what you do and figure out what you need for your business because people are out there to help you. So many people are doing this on their own. I would say definitely a portion of people are using a legal team, but the majority of people are doing it all on their own, doing their taxes by themselves, forming an LLC. You can do that on your own. There's things that you can do on your own. And that's definitely something that I've learned along the way. I thought in the beginning, I'm not an expert. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to hand it off to everybody else and have them do it for me. And now I'm starting to feel a lot more confident. Again, that's the confident part of everything. But I'm feeling so much more confident now to be able to take action and learn more on what I need to do and what I can do on my own because I want to know, do I have to pay somebody $750 or whatever to fill out this form? If you saw my video where I was talking about the BOIR form, where I was quoted by my attorney, it was like $700 or $800 or something. And I'm like, this is ridiculous because the form took about 10 to 15 minutes. So that definitely opened my eyes a lot to what can I actually do on my own. And I recommend utilizing AI. Ask ChatGPT, what do I need to be doing? I do that all the time with specific questions. You can research YouTube videos and see what other people say. And again, utilize your local area, your city, your state, and see who you need to call and ask questions to because it's going to help you out so much in those little moments when you are questioning, am I cut out for this? Am I really made for this? Obviously, other people know how to do this better than I do. I'm sure that so-and-so, just breezed through this and they knew exactly what they were doing. Most likely not. Most likely, most people are like, what is this form? What do I need to be doing? Where do I submit it to? What is this question? It's very common and it's totally normal. And if you are feeling overwhelmed and kind of scattered and all over the place with starting a candle business, it is completely normal for you to be feeling that way and feeling like I have no idea what I'm doing. And let me tell you, nobody knows what they're doing. Like nobody knows what they're doing until you're in it. And then you take your experiments and your knowledge and your, in hindsight, you look back years after you've been in business and you think, well, if I would have done this, this, and this from the beginning, I probably would have been a lot further than I am right now. But you don't know what you don't know. And everybody's going to have a different, as they say, lived experience with their business. So you're going to live a different business experience than somebody else. And what works for you may not work for somebody else. And everybody is going to be so different. So a lot of it is going to be experimentation and living your life in your business and trying things out instead of, trying to research for 3 months about Instagram ads or TikTok shop or whatever it is. Is TikTok banned? No, I think it came back. You know what I mean? So instead of taking all that time and just researching and getting stuck in that research cycle, you will learn so much more by doing it. You will learn so much more by trying it out for yourself. And I get it. I am a researchaholic. I love researching. Honestly, my favorite thing recently has just been talking with ChatGPT and learning a bunch of stuff. It's my favorite thing right now. It's the best thing. It's better than social media. I swear. So I get it. I get when you get so excited and you just want to know everything before you get started. You want the best supplies. You want the best equipment. You want the best of the best of the best. And I really urge you to just research. Yes, I love researching. But make sure you take action, because you will not learn nearly as much if you don't take action, if you don't actually try it out for yourself. So for instance, if you had never driven a car before and you watched a ton of videos for 6 months about how to drive a car and how many people talk about it, but you never did it yourself, it's a completely different experience when you're the one behind the wheel and actually driving than watching everybody else driving a car and talking about it and talking about their experience driving a car. So that, I guess, is my analogy for running a business and starting a business. So you're going to experience different things, but just know that wherever you're at right now, whether you're at the very beginning, you have an idea of starting a business, or you've already launched and you've been in business for a year or 2 or 3, that whatever you're feeling right now, it's completely normal. You are very valid in your feelings on whether or not you're feeling like, okay, well, I've been in business for a year and I haven't really done as well as I wanted. Just know that every business has a different origin story. Some businesses don't do well for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden they do really well. And it just depends on what you're doing and if you're being proactive and still trying to learn and try different things and experiment for yourself with your business. I feel like I could go on and on talking about this. I recently sent out an email yesterday to my email list. If you're not on my email list, you can join. I will have a link in the pinned comment. I send out emails a few times a month. Just sometimes it's motivation, helpful things, if I have any digital products that are open for enrollment or anything like that. But it is a candle business launch checklist. So if you haven't gotten that checklist, I will have that down in the comment section below. That'll give you the checklist and then also get you on my email list, so you can get emails from me, you know, in your inbox if you want to hear from me and hear more about this kind of stuff to your inbox. But I think I'm going to end today's video right here again, because I feel like I could just kind of talk about this all day long, because it's something that I really felt so alone in the beginning when I was first getting started. I felt like I was completely 100% alone, and I didn't really have anybody to talk to that had gone through it before or was currently going through it. And I would spend hours and hours trying to figure something out. And honestly, it was the best thing that I could have gone through, was the struggle and the overcoming each individual obstacle. And I can't even name all of the obstacles from the beginning. I could probably about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but now I'm like, I don't even know. I just know that I got through it and I'm here right now. And everything has just been a learning experience. So I hope today's video motivated you and helped you realize that you are not alone in all of this. And I will see you in the next video.